Is the Coachella Valley real estate market finally giving buyers more power? Or are sellers still stronger than people think they are? That's the big question this month, because last month's numbers are giving us a mixed message. Single-family home prices are down, condo prices are up, inventory is lower, sales activity is improving, and homes are taking about 70 days to sell. So depending upon which number you look at, you could think the market is slowing down or quietly getting stronger. But here's the part most people miss. There is one number in this report that tells us whether buyers really have leverage or whether well-priced homes are still creating competition. I'll show you that number before the end of this video. So please stay with me because this is where the market gets interesting. Let's get into it. Hi there, it's me, Stefan Burchard, the Desert Bowtie agent. I create content to demystify the greater Palm Springs region real estate market while sharing the perks and the realities of the desert lifestyle. Why? Because I love what I do. But more importantly, I believe real estate should be fun and easy. So let's simplify this month's market. The biggest takeaway this month is simple. The market is not crashing. The market is not booming. The market is becoming more balanced. Honestly, balance is not a bad thing. Across the Coachella Valley, the median price for single-family homes is currently $675,000, which is down 6.9% from last year. So yes, single-family homes have softened a bit. But condos are telling a completely different story. The median price on condos is $497,500, which is up 6% over last year. That means this is not a simple everything is up or everything is down market. It depends on the city, it depends on the price range, and it depends on the property type. And most importantly, it depends on whether the home is priced correctly. Because buyers are still buying. They're just being more careful and picky. And honestly, after the last few years, buying being careful feels less like a crisis and more like everyone finally taking a deep breath. Now, let's look at a few of the city highlights without making your eyes glaze over. In Palm Springs, single-family homes are just over 1.1 million, which is down 4.1%. But condos are at 515,000, which is up 18% over last year. That tells us Palm Springs condos are still getting attention, especially from buyers who want lifestyle, location, and lower maintenance desert living. In Cathedral City, single-family homes are at 545,000, which is down 11.4%, while condos are up slightly. In Palm Desert, single-family homes are just under 650,000, which is down 7.2%, while condos are up slightly at 465,000. Rancho Mirage single-family homes are at 1.3 million, down 4.1%, but condos are holding close to last year. Now, the standout this month is Indian Wells. Single-family homes are close to 2 million, up 18% over last year, and condos are also up sharply. But here's the bow tie-sized caution. In smaller luxury markets, one or two high-end sales can move the numbers quite a bit. So we do not want to overreact, but it does show that high-end buyers are still active. La Quinta is also showing strength, with single-family homes just over 1.1 million, up 2%, and condos up 16%. So the simple message is this. Some cities are softer, some cities are stronger, and the best homes are still getting attention. This is why valley-wide numbers are so helpful, but they are only the starting point. Your city, your neighborhood, and your price point matter. Now, let's talk about inventory because this is where the story gets a bit interesting. Inventory is at just over 4,000 homes, which is down 18% from last year. That means buyers have fewer homes to choose from than they did a year ago. So yes, buyers may have more breathing room than they had during the wild pandemic market, but they do not have unlimited choices, and that matters. If a home is overpriced, it will sit. But if a home is priced well, shows well, and is in a great location, it will still move. Sometimes a home does not have a market problem. Sometimes it has a pricing problem, wearing designer sunglasses by the pool. And in this market, buyers are noticing that. Months of sales is now at 6.3%, which is down 20% over last year. Let me make this simple. Month of sales tells us how long it would take to sell homes currently on the market if no new homes came on. A little over 6 months points to a balanced market. Not a crazy seller's market, not a full buyer's market. More like a let's all be reasonable and make smart decisions market. And honestly, reasonable is refreshing. It may not make dramatic headlines, but it does make for better decisions. Days on the market. Well, homes are taking about 70 days to sell, which is only slightly higher than last year. So yes, homes are taking a bit longer than they did during the faster market, but again, this is not a dramatic slowdown. This is more normal pace. For sellers, this means pricing matters most. You cannot just pick a number because it feels good and hope buyers line up at the door with flowers and financing. For buyers, this means you usually have more time to think, compare, and negotiate. But here's the key. More time does not mean forever. Good homes are still moving. Now here's one of the more encouraging parts of this report. The 3-month average for unit sales is 770 units, which is up 1.4% over last year. The 12-month average is 632 units, which is up 4.12% over last year. That tells us that the buyer activity is improving. People are still buying homes. They're just being selective. They want value, they want condition, they want the right location, and they want the price to make sense. Shocking, I know. Buyers wanting value. What a plot twist, right? But this is the heart of today's market. This is the market we are in. Demand is still here. It's just more disciplined. Now remember, at the beginning I said there was one number that tells us whether buyers really have leverage or whether sellers still have strength. Here it is. 27.7% of homes still sold above list price. That number is down 12% from last year, so the market is definitely less aggressive than it was. But here is the important part. More than 1 in 4 homes still sold above asking. That tells us demand has not disappeared. It is just not showing up for every property. Buyers are not chasing every available property anymore. They are chasing the homes that are priced right, show well, and feel like a good value. So if you're a buyer, yes, you may have more leverage. Right price, you may not be the only one who sees it. And if you are a seller, this is your reminder that the market will still reward a strong listing strategy, but it will not reward wishful pricing. That is the real story this month. What does this mean for buyers? If you're a buyer, this market gives you opportunity. You may have more time, you may have more room to negotiate. You may be able to ask for credits, repairs, or better terms, but you still need to be prepared. Get your financing lined up. Know your budget, understand the city and price range you are shopping in. Because when the right home shows up, you want to move with confidence, not panic, and a half-finished pre-approval. This is not a strategy. That is cardio. What all this means for sellers. If you're a seller, this market is still workable, but this is not the market where you can overprice your home and expect buyers to chase it. Today's buyers are serious, but they are careful. So your home needs to be priced well. It needs to show well, and it needs to be marketed clearly. The goal is not just to be listed. The goal is to stand out. This is where strategy matters. So here's the big takeaway this month. The Coachella Valley real estate market is balanced, active, and more selective. Single-family prices are softer, condos are stronger, inventory is lower than last year, sales activity is improving, and homes are taking about 70 days to sell. And more than 1 in 4 homes is still selling above list price. So, no, this is not a crash. It is a strategy market. Buyers have more room to negotiate, but they still need to be ready. Sellers can still get strong results, but they need to price correctly, present well, and understand their competition. And as always, the valley-wide number only tells part of the story. Your city, your neighborhood, and your price point, and your property type are where the real strategy begins. So if you're thinking about buying or selling in the Greater Palm Springs region, I'd love to continue this conversation. Just click the link in the description below to schedule a call with me. Now do me a favor, share this news with a friend or family member who's looking to buy or sell in the Palm Springs region. And don't stop there. Check out my next video where I break down the 20 best things to do in Palm Springs. Till next time, stay toasty and keep on dreaming. Bye! Homes are just under $650,000 and lower maintenance never. So yes, buyers may have more breathing room, and so yes, buyers may have a little over 6 months to, but again, this is not a, what this means for sellers. If you are, that all just did not make sense. Let's do that over again.